and welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton, and today on the podcast, I'm joined by my good friend Eric Colley. How are you, Eric?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you, mate. You have a good long weekend?
I did have a good weekend.
You were in
the
wine
country, yeah.
Wine country.
Yeah.
I was in wine country, as in WHINE,
With the kid?
with my 3-year-old. No. It was a good weekend.
Or was it you?
Yeah, I mean, bit of both. Having to go to little kids' parties.
Sounds great.
Sounds great. Okay, our stories today, love them.
Yeah.
Lizzo comes for South Park after South Park included her in a body positivity episode.
I can't tell if they insulted her, but they also kind of didn't.
Yes.
I'm a little confused on their message.
Paris Hilton, she is being attacked again for her parenting, this time putting her son's life jacket on the wrong way. Can't catch a break.
She can't. This is, twice in like a couple weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Northwest just won the internet or something the internet over the weekend with her singing debut in The Lion King at the Hollywood Bowl.
She just wins. No matter what, she wins.
Yeah. And first, though, not finally, first we're going to talk about Nicki Minaj. She had a big weekend too. Nicki Minaj was detained and arrested for weed possession in, drumroll please, Amsterdam?
I'm baffled by this. Isn't everything legal there?
I mean, I would have thought weed, it would be the more legal than coffee. You know what I mean?
Like they just hand it to you at the airport as like a lovely welcoming gift.
Yeah, well, she was stopped by cops when she was trying to fly out of Amsterdam on way to England to perform. Let's listen to some of the sort of arrest video, which she streamed live.
What am I doing? I never gave anyone
arrest.
So I'm under arrest.
Yes.
But
Yes.
under arrest for what?
Okay. Stop filming now.
I'm under arrest for what?
Okay.
Do you
Stop
know what
filming
happened
now.
when I came
you
here?
have to go inside.
Huh? What you said?
Can you please stop filming?
She didn't stop filming,
No.
but I'm glad she didn't because we got a lot of good content.
Yeah.
So she, I don't think we have to say allegedly. They found pre-rolls in her,
Yeah.
and her or someone else's that she was traveling with
that's
a backpack.
the thing. Her security told the officers it was his.
That's a good fall guy right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it wasn't like too much to sort of like detain her for any longer. She was detained for 6 hours and slapped with a fine and then allowed to go on to London.
They even in the charge they call them soft drugs.
They are soft drugs, especially in Amsterdam.
I thought you could just they have little cafes where you can just do whatever.
I think this is a really bad advertisement for the country and the city. Like, isn't it known for weed possession?
That's what I thought. I thought like that was the thing for years before it became legal in parts of the United States. Like that's where you go where you can do anything.
And a few pre-rolls on a mega celebrity is enough to detain them and make them miss a show in England.
She didn't bring like a giant duffel bags full of it and wasn't selling it or anything like that.
Right.
Nicki Minaj had some joints basically.
I'm glad that we live in this environment where if anyone's getting arrested, they just go live. Everyone just goes live.
Right.
If they're ever, like they've got the world watching. What do you want to say? But these Dutch guys,
That can backfire on you though. Like,
if you really do deserve
if the cop's like, yeah, well, you have a dead body in your trunk. So that's why we're detaining you. Oh.
And then, like, that sometimes actually happens. I've seen a few of those.
Really?
Well, it shouldn't have been going live. But yeah, I was just like, it dominated the internet over the weekend just because one of the biggest celebrities in one of the biggest drug-fueled places, she ended up missing a show in England. She did perform last night, and she sort of like basically said that like she wins. She can't do anything.
She
but
said,
win.
"Guess who's still winning?
Exactly.
It's Nicki. Nicki always wins."
She also gave last night a shout out in England to Princess Diana. Did you see this?
I did not see that.
She said she asked for, in a British accent, she asked for a moment of silence for her dear friend Princess Diana.
I don't think they knew each other.
She
She did do the song Princess Diana.
I think it's
Ice
kind of
Spice.
an idol of hers.
Yeah. I don't know if they were dear friends.
I think maybe kind of in her mind or spiritually. Nicki was 14 when Princess Diana
Yeah,
died.
I don't think they knew each other, but
No.
the British accent, that's a slippery slope to Britney Town.
It really is.
But she is actually in Britain, so.
But I mean, just like so many of these stories we do, this is kind of good press for her tour, good press. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it doesn't really hurt her at the end of the day.
Doesn't make you think anything bad.
less of it, no.
Oh, Nicki Minaj had some weed. Okay.
Right.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't think anybody does.
Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Okay, on to our next story. A South Park episode came out over the weekend, and it invoked Lizzo. I don't know if you watched this. I ended up watching it because of this. Like, it worked, this
I
viral
saw about
stuff.
5 minutes of it.
Basically, the episode's all about Ozempic. But Ozempic's kind of expensive and hard to get. So for people who can't get Ozempic, they prescribe Lizzo. And Lizzo is something that makes you feel good about yourself, even if you're...
Right. It says, the doctor says, I'm going to write you a prescription for Lizzo. It says
Right.
that you can just do whatever you want, never exercise, and don't worry about it.
This is how Lizzo reacted to watching that episode.
I just feel like, damn, I'm really that bitch. I'm really that bitch. I really showed the world how to love yourself and not give a fuck, to the point where these men in Colorado know who the fuck I am and put it on their cartoon that's been around for 25 years. I'm really that bitch, and I'll show y'all how to not give a fuck, and I'm going to keep on showing you how to not give a fuck. Oh, Lizzo, bitch.
I mean, I think this is kind of one of the best news stories for her in a while.
Yeah.
Because
it's sort of making fun of her, talking about her
Yeah.
weight and her appearance, and like they're sort of shaming body positivity. Well, this is my thing about South Park, and I know they make fun of everybody. In the episode, they make fun of all these people obsessed with taking Ozempic and like depriving people with diabetes from getting access to it. And it's sort of making fun of that culture of
Yes.
wanting to be thin. But it also makes fun of being okay with how you look.
yes.
So it's like, so just everybody's bad?
I think they kind
Unless
of
you're just
take...
naturally super fit?
But that's the sort of comedy... I mean, I'm not a massive South Park fan, but I enjoy comedians who like sort of no one's safe type things. Like
Oh, I'm fine with that. I'm just curious. Like, usually when South Park does that, and they take no prisoners, but there's some sort of message to it. What is the message of this? That body positivity is bad. Also, Ozempic is bad. So everything's bad,
I think...
unless you are just hitting the gym a lot. And I'm sure they'd make fun of that too. So
Oh, they would. Absolutely. I don't know.
Right? Everybody's bad.
Everybody's bad. I think that's what South Park sort of like. It's like a dystopian type. Like
Yeah.
everyone's got like big flaws. But I think that even though they kind of mock body positivity, it's done in such a way where it is the best way to live your life, no matter what size you are. Is just like feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
And the fact that Lizzo is the poster child for that movement, I think, even if it comes with a bit of like jabs, I think you take pride in that. And
She clearly does. Like she's like, yeah, that is what her whole brand was built on. And she's like, yep, I am literally, my name is the go-to word for body positivity.
right, which is great. It's more than like her music, which I think her music is like astoundingly good. Like her
Yeah.
pop songs like are really catchy and that sort of stuff. But if her legacy is something to do with body positivity, then I think she'll be very, very happy with that.
And also because people have just, ripped her apart and, she's proud of being fat and how awful that is and all that. And that she has kind of stood up in the face of that every time and been like, yep, that's who I am.
Yeah.
Like, she's untouchable. You can't, I mean, I'm not saying, I'm sure it hurts her feelings, the things that people say about her sometimes, but what can you say about Lizzo? She's like, yep, it's true. I am.
Yeah, and her like Instagram is all of her half naked and like basically saying "F you" to the haters. Like
Yeah.
that is what her Instagram is
And
about.
I kind of love that about it.
Good for her. Good for her. And I am one that loves to sort of tear into. I'd love to tear into Lizzo for this and that, but here I think she's got a great win. I think.
Yeah. And people talk about like, oh, it's unhealthy, and that's a legit concern if somebody's morbidly obese. Like, is it a health risk? But when I've seen her live, she puts on a show.
Yeah, she's
Like-
fitter than us.
Oh, absolutely! I couldn't
Right.
do that show.
No,
And
not at
she's
all.
doing splits and whatever, and just rolling around on stage and stuff. That's a lot of activity every night.
It is.
So
Good on her.
live your life.
Okay, on to our next story. Paris Hilton is coming under fire again for her parenting skills. The first time around, it was because she didn't put the car seat in the right direction. The
Yeah, they
kids'
were
car-
facing the wrong way.
They were facing the wrong way. Everyone called her out. She kind of said thanks to the...
She literally said thank you. She posted a video where she flipped the car seats facing backwards, which I think is what they're supposed to be.
Yes.
And so she's like, I got it right now. Thanks, guys.
Right.
And now she's done it again.
And now she's done it again because she was off on vacation in Hawaii, it looks like. And she was in the sort of lazy... You don't call it a lazy Susan, do you?
A lazy river.
A lazy river.
Susan's the little thing that spins around in your kitchen.
Yeah.
That's maybe your vacation. You sit on a lazy Susan. I
Just
don't know.
spin around the Chinese food
Right.
or something. She was with her son Phoenix, her 1-year-old, and they're jumping through the water. Let's play some of the video now. They're they're jumping through the water, and she has the life vest on the wrong way. So the flotation part is supposed to be on the baby's chest, but it's actually on their back, which I guess would give buoyancy to their back if they.
Which makes sense. You'd think even she could kind of figure that out. Like the car seat thing, it used to be forward, now it's backwards. That's kind of changed a couple times. But if the kid's drowning, that's going to hold their head down. If the flotation's on the back,
right?
You want it in the front. I would think that would be kind of obvious to me. But the shocking thing to me is, so the internet kind of came to tell her, "Hey, you're doing this wrong."
Yeah.
But the comments were mostly really nice.
Interesting.
I know it wasn't like you're a terrible mother, blah blah blah. It was like, oh hey, like looks like you're having a great time. Just so you know, it should go on the front.
Well, because like being a parent for the first time, anyone.
Yeah, you've got a 3-year-old.
I've got a 3.
Are people always trying to tell you how to do things and what to do? I mean, not even like the internet, just like family and friends and like trying to give you advice.
Right, and that's fine. But I like someone's learning to be a parent for the first time as well. And so mistakes are bound to happen in different things you do. And like people tell me that if I'm walking hand in hand with my daughter and it makes sense. You should be on the road side of the kid, right?
Yeah, I've always that's supposed to be a thing. It's supposed to be chivalry with men. If you're with your wife or girlfriend, you should be on the outside.
So
because if a car comes, I'm going to stop a car from hitting you.
Right,
exactly.
There are all of these things that sort of like you go, okay, I guess that makes sense, but no one's ever told me that before.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if the kid breaks free of your hand and tries to go in the street,
well, that's the reason.
The idea, yeah, that makes sense.
It makes sense, but before someone tells you that, you don't realize that. So I think Paris Hilton is under the microscope because she's like got this ditzy persona. She doesn't know much about anything. That's her persona.
Yeah. And I think people partly want to see her fail. I mean, not that they want something bad to happen to her children, but I think people love being like, look at her. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Right.
She looks like a fine mom. I mean, these are fairly minor things, but stuff you would legit want to know. Like if I had a kid in a pool and if I had the floaty backwards, I'd want to know.
Yeah. Well, as long as it's coming from a good place. I'm sure she's getting a few trolls who are ripping into her, and maybe she's going to show her kids less now because she's like, I'm enough with the advice. Like,
right.
But
maybe it is helpful. Like I said, a lot of the comments I saw were actually presented in a nice way, which is rare for the internet.
They're
not even trolling. It was just like, hey, like I'm a mom and I didn't know this either, but it should go the other way. Like people were actually thoughtful and nice.
Man,
I was shocked by that.
The internet's such a nice place.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, on to our almost news story. Northwest took the stage at the Hollywood Bowl. She sung Friday and potentially even again on Saturday. It was a 2-night show. They were filming it for there's a 30th anniversary of this Lion King live thing.
Yeah, the Lion King came out in '94, so yeah.
There you go. Well, let's listen to some of her singing before we critique. Okay, Derek, tell me your review.
She's 10. She's a 10-year-old singing.
But I mean, there's a lot of 10-year-olds out there. I've seen a lot of them on TikTok being upset they didn't get the job.
Yeah, and she was this was sort of a last-minute thing, her doing this.
It was a last-minute thing?
Sort of. She didn't. It's not like she's been, preparing for this and rehearsing for weeks or months or anything. And yeah, she's 10.
Yeah.
10-year-old singing on stage.
I can understand both sides. There's people saying it should have gone to a kid who's a better singer and dancer. And then there's other people who go like, man, now I'm going to watch that when it comes out on Disney Plus. Like,
which is probably why she's there. Because of course, her parents are there to support. Kim was there. Kanye was there. Not together.
The whole Kardashian clan was there.
Yeah, they were all there. And if you're the producers of this and you want people to watch it, not just, this was at the Hollywood Bowl, but like you said, it's for a live television thing. You want a name that's going to, and they have Billy Eichner and a lot of people are in this. Jeremy Irons, Nathan Lane, Jennifer Hudson, but Northwest and Kim and Kanye being there, that will get people to watch.
100%.
Because if this had been just a theater kid, we wouldn't be talking about it at all.
100%. It's a business at the end of the day. And like, if I knew like Northwest was performing in sort of, Peter Pan or some other sort of Disney thing in next week, I'd be more inclined to go than if it was a random kid.
And honestly, if it's really good or really bad, doesn't matter. Because either you want to see like, wow, I can't believe she's so good, or oh, I want to like tell her she's horrible because people hate the Kardashians. Again, she's a 10-year-old. You know, we're going to be talking about Northwest the rest of our lives.
I know.
She's got a rap album coming out. She does her art. She's going to do short films. She's accomplished all that at 10. That's impressive.
It's just a lesson in the real world for, say, the kids who missed out. Like, you know, yeah, life's not fair. Sorry, you got bumped by the most famous 10-year-old in the world. What do you want me to do? But also, like, North has a phone. North has a TikTok.
Yeah.
And when I'm scrolling my TikTok, there's not very many positive reviews. So North's
being unkind. It's a little flat. It's a little pitchy, as Randy Jackson used to say on American Idol.
Yeah.
But again, she's a 10-year-old, y'all. I don't care how famous she is or how famous her parents are. She is a 10-year-old child. I'm not going to drag her.
No, she did her best. She was wearing like a Big Bird outfit, or like, why is she wearing Yeezys like on stage?
No, it's like big. I think they're supposed to be like paws. Like she's wearing, it's sort of a costume, like kind of a lion costume.
I bet it's made for North. It's bespoke for North.
Probably, but it still fits the theme of the show.
It does. Well, I hope she performs more, man. That was kind of entertaining.
It was definitely entertaining.
And that's all it is. It's just entertainment. Who
That's all
cares
it
about
is.
how well you can sing that Lion King song? It's about, I want to be entertained.
We are entertained.
We are entertained.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining me today, Eric.
Always a good time.
And we'll see you guys here tomorrow. Goodbye.